Well, hello and welcome everybody. Today is a very special episode of the No Zone, and I guess you guessed it, it's the 4th of July. How awesome is that? The day we celebrate our independence. And today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of history on why we celebrate independence and the reason why we use fireworks. So that is the main reason of today's video is where did it all come to. I mean, we probably all know why we celebrate the 4th of July, but maybe there's some of you out there that don't know why we use fireworks. So, I mean, we do know why we celebrate 4th of July, don't we? Okay. All right. So that's a little bit of history there to look up why we celebrate the 4th of July. This video is why do we use fireworks? So, and combination of me actually paying attention in history class and AI. I typed in on my browser, why do we use fireworks on the 4th of July? And putting together both, um, it is very interesting because in 1776, whenever we actually sign the Declaration of Independence, it was celebrated of our independence and things like bonfires and shooting off cannons and military shots were fired. And it was actually a very interesting thing is that John Adams, who actually wrote his wife whenever the Declaration of Independence was signed on in 1776, he actually wrote a letter to his wife, and it basically said, "We need flair. We need what's the word he used here? So according to AI, the word was let's see what is it? I say flare, but they say that he used let's see, illuminations. That's it. He said that we need to use illuminations, which to illuminate something means bring it out into the open, it's bright, something that is you see it, something that can't be hidden. You illuminate it. So there was fireworks, there was bonfires, there was parties, there was cannon fire, there was gun salutes, and then it actually became a thing in 1777, July 4th, a year later, is that we kind of attributed fireworks because in layman terms, all the other stuff was kind of unsafe, firing cannons and gun salutes. So it just kind of went to fireworks. And that was done in Philadelphia. So that is pretty cool. Let's see, let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything here. So yeah, in Philadelphia in 1777, July 4th, a year after the signing of the Declaration of Independence, they decided to use fireworks, and it was because of John Adams. So that's pretty cool, John Adams. So now that we know just a little history lesson here, I want to go to Bible Gateway, and I want to share some biblical insight on being free. Now, the Bible doesn't really actually state the 4th of July or independence as far as being a free nation, but it does include independence being free because of Jesus Christ. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Bible Gateway, and I am going to hit share. So that's share the page that I'm looking at. And we're going to go to this. So it should be just the screen and not my face. Maybe it's my face, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is It's showing my face up here in the corner, so I don't know if it's actually recording it or not. But anyway, let's get to the point. So the first verse on freedom is Galatians 5:1. So let me just type that in here. Okay, Galatians 5, and then we're going to go here 1. All right, Galatians 5:1. Okay, it says I didn't spell it. Maybe Glatians. That's what I did wrong. We got to make sure and spell it right if we want to do it right. All right, here we go. All right, so this is a verse that I picked out because it has to do with it. It says it it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then do not let yourselves be burdened again by the yoke of slavery. And this is talking about the slavery of sin, because we all know that before we have Christ, that we are a slave to sin and the bondage and the chains that it has on us. So then the next verse I would like to do is going to be actually Galatians 5:13. So we're just going to add a 3 and then we're going to go here. All right, so this else has to do with freedom and independence. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. So this is a very interesting verse because it has to do with just because we have freedom doesn't mean that we can just go on a binge and just do what we want to do and indulge in the fleshly desires. It means basically that we were called to be free by the blood of Jesus Christ. However, there is a new life that we walk in. That's why we die as our old selves, and that's where the born again thing comes from. And we could actually use this out into the world. So just because we are free, just because we celebrated the 4th of July recently. By the time you're getting this, it would be past the 4th of July. So just because we're a free nation doesn't mean that we can do whatever we want as far as breaking the law and doing things against um, the Constitution and be okay with it. So there are things that we do by being free. And then the second one is the third one is Second Corinthians. So let's go ahead and get to this. Carnth. All right. Don't hate the messenger. All right. So we're doing this. Corinthians. If I have it right in front of me, I'm still going to spell it wrong. But we're going to move on. All right. 3:17. All right. So we're going to do this. All right. So 2 Corinthians 3:17 says, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. That has to go back to the first verse I read about not being in bondage anymore, not being in slavery to sin anymore. It says, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. You put your heart, your trust, your soul, everything into Jesus. And it's just freedom. It is. It's freedom that they're talking about from the bondage of sin. And once you've experienced that, like there's no other feeling. I'm being serious. Like there's no other feeling. You can't compare it to anything. It's just, here on earth we probably compare it to if you've been in jail or prison and then you get out and now you're free. Doesn't even hold a candle to that, but that would probably be something that would be close to this. And the last verse that I want to talk about is John. I know I can spell John. John 8, verse 17. And then we're going to go to that real quick. All right. In our own law, it is written that the testimony of two witnesses is true. Oh, I did the wrong verse. Well, it's going to be raw and uncensored here. So, all right, this is actually the right one. I was actually looking up there. All right. This is the right one. John 8 verse 36. My apologies. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. So that's just saying that if Jesus sets you free, you are definitely free. Not even the legions of armies of hell can take that away from you. If he sets you free, you're free. Point blank. So that's just some verses that I wanted to go over um, to kind of let it resonate in your mind. There are other verses, but I just wanted to put these four out here to just kind of look at and to go over and to kind of give you just an overview of why we use fireworks. And I do trust, let me get back to my screen. Okay, here we go. So I do hope that each and one of you have a safe and eventful 4th of July, celebrating our freedom as a nation and also our freedom away from the chains of sin. And I know that by the time you get this, it's going to be after the 4th of July. So um, I hope you had a big barbecue, maybe not as went out to dinner, saw some friends, got together, and just remember that love yourself, love God, love your neighbor. And you are now in the no zone.